Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is Not David. So, Not David has a question. What's your question? You're not going to tell me. He's not going to tell me the question. No, the question is actually coming from the comments section because I read all the comments. And there's a number of folks out there that are concerned that there aren't going to be 2026 midterm elections. And I understand what their concern is. On the run up to the presidential election, Trump was basically saying, hey, I only need you to vote this one last time and you'll never have to vote again after this. In theory, he was saying it because he was going to fix everything and then you'd never have another concern again and therefore you'd never need to vote again. Yeah, right. And then, of course, you kind of pair that up with Elon and the votes having very suspect results and the results coming in a lot quicker than they should have, and Elon basically quote unquote knowing the results before anyone else does. There was just a lot of really weird things going on in the 2024 election, and Dave and I have done readings on that, and Trump was really just beside himself that Biden must have cheated in 2020, and he wouldn't shut the hell up about it. And it was only when Dave and I kind of changed our perspective, or at least I changed my perspective, into assuming that Trump was just being a poor loser, that Trump was telling a truth. But it wasn't that Biden cheated; it was that Trump cheated, but not enough, and Biden still outperformed him. And if you take that kind of approach to his actions start to make a lot of sense. If you've rigged the deck and it comes up, you still lose even though you rigged it, then clearly the other person rigged it more than you did. And that's where Trump that may be where Trump's coming from. It makes a lot of sense. And then it also makes sense that some of the election results that, hopefully we'll get some results in Rockland County that look odd. And, the Democrats for the last 4 years have been saying, no, the elections are fine, everything's secure, blah, blah, blah. And then, if there was an underlying problem and the Democrats didn't identify it and or didn't take steps to prevent it going forward because they didn't realize there was something that needed to be prevented. It's kind of like this mole. It's just been sitting there waiting to pop up again 4 years later. And the Republicans may have leveraged that and, turned it up to 11 to make sure that Trump won this time around. So there is some question about the election integrity in 2024 and whether we're actually going to have election integrity in 2026 if we even have elections in 2026. So we're going to take a look at that. I did want to address one other thing in the comments, or two things in the comments. People have been asking what that yellow thing is in the back on top of the Marshall speaker stack. Let me go get that. Okay, so this is one of my daughter's stuffies. It's a lemon. And then I've got the Not David stuffy. And those are both sitting up over here. And this Marshall amplifier is actually a refrigerator. So I do have an amplifier. I've got two amplifiers in here. I've got a Fender that's right over here. And I've got a little Boss Katana mini speaker so that I don't annoy my wife too much when I'm in here playing. I do play guitar. I play electric guitar. I play very poorly, but I do play. So, you got that. So there's a little bit about me in the shed. Okay, so for entertainment purposes only, let's take a look at the energy around the 2026 election. I was watching Belle of the Ranch, and she was making a point that the Republicans are preparing for a 2026 election while the Democrats are having to convince their base that there will actually be a 2026 election. So we're going to take a look at that as well. So let's come on down. let's take a look at the general energy around the 2026 election. What do we need to know about this? Is there going to be one? So, foundation of the reading is the Queen of Wands. Now, I had a little peek when I was manipulating the deck. I think I know what the undercard is. I'll show it to you. There you go. Now you know too. I have a hunch what it is, but now you know for sure. Foundation is the Queen of Wands. This is about taking actions, lots of actions being taken. This is probably, if you watched Belle of the Ranch, her video came out yesterday. Basically, the Republicans are trying to gerrymander their districts as much as they can because they are expecting to lose a whole bunch of seats in the House. So like in the state of Texas, they're trying to gerrymander the crap out of it so that they can minimize the number of seats that they're going to lose because of Trump's big, beautiful bill and all the other crap he's been pulling. The challenge, the cross, is the Page of Swords. This is, all the truth that's been coming out, with Trump's messaging, Trump's budget. All of these truths are starting to appear, and the young people, and there's like a renewed energy and a fight to fight off what this low vibrational energy of Trump and MAGA are doing. That it's, all the these are the people out protesting what's happening, the No Kings protests and all this other, all the people that are being detained by the ICE agents. It's creating a lot of outrage, and they're having to take actions because they're seeing the outrage and they realize that what's happening is not going to be a positive result in 2026. That was the card I thought I saw. Energy underneath this is the devil. The Republicans chain themselves to this agenda. The Democrats have done nothing on this, in both a good way and a bad way. In a good way, they're not supporting this budget and the roundup of migrant workers, some of whom are citizens, some of whom have proper documentation. They're not complicit with this. On the other hand, we'd like to see them fighting a little bit more about it, but they're doing what they can. We wish they would do a little bit more. But the Republicans, they chain themselves. This is their agenda. This is their messaging. They're executing their Project 2025 plan, and they have to own it. In the past, you got the victory. This is Trump's, and the Republicans celebrating 2024. We did it. How they did it is more of the question that we would like answered. The current energy is the Magician. They want to do it again. They want to manifest similar results. But once again, they recognize that their agenda is not popular, and they're trying to take steps to manifest as much control as they can over the elections. Overarching energy is the Hermit, trying to find that path forward. If we're looking at just general overall election energy, the Magician is telling me that right now, we're going to have elections. The energy over all this is, the Hermit. It's kind of trying to avoid the pitfalls, trying to avoid the pratfalls, and watching out for that quote unquote snake in the path, if you will, finding that truth. This could be the whole Rockland vote counting, where they're trying to find the truth of what happened in 2024. That feels right, but let's see if that fits in with the reading. The lesson to be learned is the Fool card. Don't be foolish and think that everything's great and that everything is secure. That you need to look at things critically, if you will. Otherwise, you could walk right off the cliff. The dog's warning us, and we got to find that path. Outcome for the 2026 election energy is King of Swords. There's going to be a harsh truth out there. And that harsh truth is either that the elections were free and fair and the Democrats just lost, or that there was manipulation and fraud taking place, and that there's people out there that need to be held accountable. Okay, so depending on what flavor you like, it seems like we're going to have 2026 elections. But I'm very curious what happens with the 2024 Rockland and if that's going to gain any traction. I guess we'll know probably in about 4 to 6 weeks how that's going to resolve itself. Let's see how the Republicans are feeling about the midterm elections in 2026. How are they feeling about their chances? And then we'll do a side-by-side with the Republicans and the Democrats. Okay, how are the Republicans feeling and how are the Democrats feeling about the midterms? Okay, Republicans, how are they feeling? The Democrats, how are they feeling? I guess the Democrats should be first because it's the left side, right? Okay, so let's see. How are we feeling? Okay, so we got the King of Cups. We've got to take... I'm not sure which side's the Republican, which side's the Dems. I was calling Republicans on this, but it's kind of like I usually do the left as a Dem, so I'm gonna be sort of wishy-washy and just see what the cards say. So you got the King of Cups. Then you got the Nine of Cups. Okay, so the King of Cups is about emotional maturity, keeping calm, don't let things rattle you. This is feeling very Republican, actually. Underneath it is the smug merchant, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. Don't worry, the Supreme Court has our back. There's there's a truth that's going to be coming forward, and it's going to be about what happened in 2024, the stealing of the election. Okay, I mean that could apply to either side, right? Because for the Democrats, it could be, hey, we're keeping the best interests of the American people. We want we value our democracy. There's a truth out there about a steal. That could easily be a Democrat reading. Let's see this side. Okay, you got the Five of Cups, sorrow, unhappiness about what's been happening. The emotional walking away, the Eight of Cups, so which is the one cup missing. Instead of hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled, you're like, I'm just checking out. I'm not happy with what happened and I'm checking out. This could easily be the Democrat voter who's been disillusioned with the mainstream Democrats and how they performed in 2024. We had strength, we had the courage, we had this under control, and now we're in a position that we're not happy about. So this could easily be a Democrat reading as well. There might be both Democrats. So how are they feeling? One side is happy, but there's going to be a truth coming up about what was going on. The other side is sad, but they feel like they're getting stronger and they're looking at things differently. So that would be Republican and Democrat. So, and that feels right when I read it that way. So that's kind of what I'm going there. The current energies, Democrats aren't happy. They're not happy with how things ended up. They had a strong candidate, they had a strong campaign, and they didn't have the results. It just doesn't feel right. And like I mentioned before, my wife is not political at all. And she's definitely not a conspiracy theorist. But even she is like, there is something absolutely not right with what's going on here. When my wife is like, yeah, something's not right, something's starting to smell fishy here, she's got a good feel for that. And I've learned to listen to that and respect that. So if she's feeling that way, it's probably something that we need to all pay attention to. Okay, so let's take a look at the results of the 2026 election since we're here. We're still, a year and a half away from that. So, take this with a grain of salt. But let's see, what do the results look like for 2026? Will there be celebrations? Okay, I should probably do Democrats and Republicans again, just because, if I just throw cards, I can make it go anyway I want, right? So let's see. Okay, Democrats on the left, Republicans on the right. Okay, let's see. How are we feeling? Okay, King of Pentacles. We took care of business. We had we brought forth the things of value. And we had money, We had things of value. We were in charge. The main clarifier, Knight of Swords, we moved forward boldly and decisively. We addressed the MAGA crazy, and we've got the Star, which is the best of democracy. Okay, let's look on the other side, which is allegedly the Republican side. We've got confusion, the secrets that were going to be revealed. Actions are going to be taken against that. You got the American people were impacted by this, and now we're on the defensive. We have to defend ourselves. Let's look at the energy underneath it. So energy underneath this, for the Democrats, Ace of Pentacles, they're bringing something of new value. It's a beginning of something new. And for the Republicans, justice will be served. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's what I got for that. So as far as the results, it's looking good. That's what I would say. You know, once again, we're too far out to really say with such a degree of confidence, like, oh, don't worry, you don't need your vote. Everything's going to be fine. Yeah, we've lived that before. We don't want to relive that. Let's just have a little bit of fun. Will Trump still be president after the midterms? Because, you know, right now his mental acuity seems to be going the way of, you know, Sonny the Cuckoo Bird, right? He's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's see. How's Trump looking? Is he still gonna be in power at the midterms? Yes or no? Little four-carder. Okay, foundation, 5 of Cups, not happy, a lot of filled with sorrow. There was a lot of work that's been, a lot of things of value, a lot of work behind the scenes, and he's not happy about it. High Priestess, keeping secrets, and then Ace of Cups, emotional, kind of an upwelling of emotion. And oh my goodness, underneath it, the Death, end of a cycle. Okay, I'm gonna say no. Is Trump going to be around after the midterms? No. I'm saying that's a big fat freaking no. So, I mean, Libby said we're already halfway through, so that would kind of indicate that he might not even make it to like September, October, which that would be just as well for me. I'd rather not have to wait till November of 2026. But we'll see. I mean, the energy changes every day. That's what I've got for you. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful day. It's Sunday. It's 7:40 p.m. Pacific time. This video will be going up in about 4 hours and 19 minutes from now. I'll be asleep, but you'll be awake watching my cheery disposition here. So thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Dave and Shelly are back on Monday, so hopefully the next video will be me and David, and not David can take a break because he's been really working hard. So I really appreciate his efforts there. I want to give a couple of shout outs. One, I kind of a special shout out, if you will. David shared, Dr. Lena sent us a video from the twins. What were the twins? Judy and Wallace. What was their show's name? Gosh darn it. I've seen them before. I'll look it up right now. Stand by. Okay, yeah, it was Bold and Not Old. So if you get a chance, check out their channel. They're a set of twins. They're a couple years older than David and I, but they are fun. Lots of fun. And they did a collaboration with Dr. Lena. So I'm sure that was a hoot. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I will watch it after this video is done. But yeah, definitely check them out. And so I want to give a secret card and a shout out to Bold Not Old. I hope you two are having a wonderful time. I have watched your videos in the past, and you two are a joy. And we are going to celebrate you with the 3 of Cups. All right, so now on to our normal shout outs that other Twin Tarot channels just simply don't do. Oh, hey, I want to give a shout out to Acadian Proud. A happy early birthday. Um, Acadian Proud's birthday is going to be on July 24th, and Acadian Proud is very present in the comment section as well as when we do our live. So happy birthday, Acadian Proud. And you got the chariot. You just keep moving that forward. And then, Natalie Gagnon. It's her birthday today. Hey, July the 13th. Happy birthday, Natalie. Well, I guess this will be happy day after your birthday. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. And you get the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're going to get something new. Get that club and hit a MAGA person with it. give him a piece of your mind there. Thank you so much. And that's what I've got. And then I'm just going to secret card for the rest of us. Right off the top of the deck, the Knight of Pentacles. That's about, let's take our time. Let's observe what's going on. We have things of value. We have things that we can provide. But let's not rush into judgment. Let's not rush forth without thinking. Let's be very contemplative. And when we act with thought, we act with care, but we act decisively. And that's what that Knight of Pentacles is. Just, okay, we're going to think about things, but when we move forward, we know that we're moving forward in the right way. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.